Last time in Star Wars Chronicles, the Prophesied King. Our heroes finally made it back to the Grand Canyon, where they eventually found the cave that held the hidden Starblade. Once they got there, however, they soon met two new characters named Light and Shine, who mentioned that Mikey came way too early. He was by no means ready to face Darky now, and it's going to be quite a while before he has a chance to do it otherwise. Still, after a bit of investigating, they learn a new way to get Mikey prepared, and that he is to undergo the trial of the king. His first step in completing this trial is to receive the Starblade, where after a scuffle with Team Magnet, they eventually do find it. However, it was guarded by Team Magnet's boss, Peterson. They won't win a fight where Peterson seemed to have the upper hand. However, Mikey finally managed to receive the Starblade and is ready to take on Peterson with all his might. Episode 8, The Fabled Starblade. The scene is now taken to a dark armory away from Earth. There wasn't much there besides a few weapons and tools. There were two dripped-in armor guards standing in front of the cave, which had cities on cities of civilization. There was also another individual who also wore metal armor, only her head was exposed to reveal a short purple-haired woman with a stern look and a purple face. She seemed to be working on some weapon in there as she bangs away at it. The guards and her then heard footsteps coming their way. They see a strange man in yellow and blue armor along with a short brown hair and a beard came their direction. The guard stopped him before he took another step in the cave. Not another step. The man then gave a proud look as he stood in front of them. Please, I'm not here to steal anything. We can't be sure of that. Mistress Mira has many weapons that people want. The man then pulled out a bag from his pocket with a grin. Trust me, I have enough to pay. The woman heard them talking and decided to be part of the conversation.
Let him in. He clearly isn't a thief.
The guards nodded and they let the man pass. He approached with a stern pose. Mira Orr, Expeditioner of Planet Colis. It's so good to finally meet you.
Get to the point.
My name is Ebenezer Starticus, the soon-to-be king of Starvania. The woman seemed annoyed as he kept rambling on.
I'm kind of in the middle of something, so either you tell me what business you have or leave.
Very well. As a soon-to-be king, I would like a blade to help identify my royal lineage. I heard that you are the best at forging, and so I came to you for that purpose.
I don't take requests, especially from people who are full of themselves. Why would I make one for you?
Ebenezer brought the bag and put it on the table beside her. She looks at it and laughs with a slick grin.
You think money is going to change my mind?
Take a look inside it. You'll find what you're looking for. She rolls her eyes and takes a look. Her expression changed after seeing what it was. Shiny blue rocks that had weird arrows shaped inside it. I heard of this material called shift stones. Not sure exactly what they do, but it would make for some new weapons to forge, wouldn't it? She thinks of it a little bit more, ties up the bag, and composes herself with a clear thought.
I suppose I can make an exception just this once. Follow me.
She then leads him to a room away from the cave, and shows him a closet full of swords, maces, and other weapons.
As you can see, I forged many weapons in my life. After I discovered this place, I chose this to be my new purpose.
They looked around to see all the weapons in the store, but one in particular took his attention. It was a blade dipped in rainbow along with a gray hilt. She noticed him looking at it.
Ah yes, the Starblade, made out of the energy from the stars. This one is unique as it was the first time I experimented with new materials. I take it that you like?
He pulls it out from the shelf. He then presses it a bit by swinging around controllably, and he becomes more comfortable with each swing. This blade will do well for my kingdom.
Excellent choice, King Starticus.
We are now taken back to the Grand Canyon trial. Sora was still cleaning up as Peterson held on to David. Mikey looked at him confident with the Starblade still in his hand. Peterson puts David down as he investigates a new challenge. With a cosmic aura unleashed, Mikey walks up closer with the blade on his left. Peterson prepares for attack, and Mikey pulls out the sword to fight. As he did, he notices a beam of light shining through the tip of the blade through Peterson's claws. He tries to go in for a swing, only to notice he teleports quickly behind his foe. He looks back to see two slashes cut off two of his claws. Peterson looks at it in panic, and he turns around to see an exhausted Mikey. What just happened? He then turns to see the sword feeling heavier than it was earlier. David gets up in pain and he walks up in front of Mikey as he tries to keep the hold of the sword. Seems the blade has a mind of its own. David then continues to look at Peterson menacingly. Still, I'll hold him off until you get a grip on that thing. Peterson looked at him angrily, but before he attacked, he felt a beam from Sora as he manages to run up beside them.
Don't forget about me just yet.
Both of them stood together confidently as Peterson's thoughts began the race. Damn, of all the people. Shan turns to David a little disappointed.
How about this time we attack as a group and not go on to angry tirades?
I have my reasons to be mad at him, but still, you are right. Mikey finally got a grip of the sword and then marched over to them a little less confident. It seemed that the situation was going dicier by the second. Revealing my ability in this place would be bad, so it seems I have no choice. With Cody being the last to climb up the stairs, he sees the three pin Pearson in an advantageous position. Ah, snap! You just got busted by the supreme group of Darky Busters. What you gonna do now? Cody told him more and more as Pearson saw its escape. Well. You bested me today as it stands. However, I'm not giving up just yet. He then forced one of his claws towards the wall of the hallway leading to the room. With a quick swing, he appeared at the entrance and made a mad dash out of the room. A tactical retreat will be mine. You may have won the battle, but this war between us is far from over. I'll be seeing you. David tried to give him a chase, but the arrows held him back from doing so. Pearson ran all the way down the hall as the other Team Magnet members recovered from the previous battle. It looked over to see Pearson running.
Oh good, the boss won!
As it's to be expected. Hey boss, how was the beating? Pearson looked at him angrily as he continued to run. Not now. We have to retreat. He has the sword. The three of them looked in shock as they followed behind him. They ran out of the cave as they taunted their foes from a distance. The four of them took a deep breath as the battle came to an end. They decided to walk down the hall as Cody helped the injured David walk. A bit reckless, wouldn't you say, buddy? I'm sorry. The moment I saw him, I just stopped thinking. Don't apologize to me. It's your sorry ass that got hurt back there.
Still, we did accomplish the trial. We retrieved the blade.
Sora seemed cheerful as Mikey studied the sword in his hand. He was still a little confused as the blade became lighter and lighter. Thoughts raced through it once more as the noise of Sora cheering the success became muddled. He comes back to reality after she calls his name a few times. She looked at him with a concerned look as he gave her his attention.
Are you okay?
He then turned around to see the others look at him concerned as well. He just continues to look defeated. The more we accomplish, the less I understand everything. It just feels like I really know nothing, and getting the source is making it worse. Perhaps that's part of your trial. They then stopped to see light and shine patiently for them to finish. You traitors, why in God's name did you let those magnet idiots in?
If it doesn't involve fate, then we don't get involved.
That's stupid. Mikey then approached Lighting with a confused look. Please help me. How do I use this thing? Just what are my powers? And what exactly am I capable of? Lighting then looked at him with a sorrowful look. You're not gonna like this, but that's only for a Starticus to figure out. But I'm the only Starticus that's slept alive. Lighting turned to him confidently. That's not entirely true. There is another. All four of them looked surprised at this revelation. But I thought all but Mikey died in that raid. You would think that, but there is still one left that can help you. The one who truly understands the Sarticus. He then pulls out his wand once more to show a vision of the person in question. He showed him a picture of a man with brown combed hair, black glasses, gray t-shirt, and orange-brown pants. This man was once the royal scientist of Starvania. His name is Francesco Anaheim. He spent his first few years studying the way of the king. Only he knows what the King of the Stars can do along with the blade. Cody then looked at the picture with glee. He quickly rested David on the wall and sprinted over to the mystical person with excitement. You mean to tell me we're seeing him next? If you want to learn about Cosmic, I implore you to do so.
What's so great about him, Cody?
Oh, my young friend. Francesco, ever since he made his first invention on Earth, became the most famous engineer here in Arizona. More people build things, myself included, became a fan of his works. I didn't know he was once a royal scientist, but that doesn't matter. If we're going to meet this guy, it's going to be a dream come true for me. He looked over to Mikey to give him an odd look. For us. I meant for us. Sora also gave him a look. She then turned to David for some insight. Don't look at me. I thought he died during the raid. Well, you'll meet him in the city called Scottsdale. He works at a lab there, and it's not that far from the capital. Does he really know my powers? He should, as it was his job to do so. Still, even if he didn't, you would need a good way to get back to Starvania. His intelligence will be quite serviceable to you if you choose to accept. Sword and tugged at Light and drove to get his attention.
I don't mean to intrude, but can you help my friend here? He's clearly not in the best condition.
She points over at David, who was breathing heavily. Langdon turns to her with his pointed look. I'm afraid I can't do that. It's against fate for me to do so. David limped over to him with a deadly glare. Oh, either I get help from a hospital or you, fate will have me healed. So for the love of God, help me, please. Lighten sighed a noise and just cast a spell on David that made his wound go away. Yet David still felt the pain. Anyway, you best get going. I know it's too early, but Darky is keeping a close watch for your location. I don't suppose you'll be coming with us. Of course not, for it is my job to not do anything against fate. If I were to help you, then it will cause an imbalance. I can only give you information for now. The rest is up to you. Even then, I wish all of you the best of luck in your travels. It won't be easy, but you can succeed. Back at it again with fate speech. Is there anything you talk about besides that? Layton then motioned Mikey to come closer, and he did. Layton then gave him a brown scarab with a yellow star symbol on it. Remember this, Mikey. Never lose sight of who you are and what you'll be. Mikey took it confidently. He then walked away, waving goodbye to the two bouncers, this time with David not needing help to walk. The walk got to see the sunset from a distance.
Funny, that felt shorter than it actually was.
Probably because we were too focused on the blade. We should probably rest up before we do anything else. What do you think, Mikey? They then see him continue to look at the sword conflictingly, before he puts it in the scabbard on his back. Sora put her hand on his shoulder for comfort.
You will understand it. I know you will.
Mikey gave her a half-hearted smile before saying something. How about you rest in the cave, to hide from any other ongoing intruders? Perfect. And then tomorrow we begin our march to find Francesco. I can't wait to finally meet someone with that amount of intelligence. David looked at him annoyed, and also to help better understand Mikey's powers. That too. And then went back to the cave to rest up. Night came as expected, and from a distance within the canyon was Terry walking around the scene. Damn, I knew I saw those four walk down here somewhere. Right on cue, the voice of Fury spoke to him. You already lost him? I thought we were mere inches away. Terry rolled his eyes and pulled out the mirror beside him. Oh, like you were that much help. Are you seriously that dumb? How about you stop spewing insults at my face? Is it too much trouble to say something positive about me? Fury then gave him a sudden look. Me? What about you? You've been nothing but negative to me ever since I got trapped in your body. I can't help it when you constantly do bad things to other people, all because you felt like it. Fury didn't calm down a bit with a flustered expression. You really think of me like that? Do you really want me to go over how many people you killed with your fire? They deserved it. No one deserves death. Not even those idiots that are part of the deal with Darky? Are you finally seeing it my way? Tyrion felt a fire hand slap him across the face. He looked up to see the fire burn brighter in the mirror. Get a hold on yourself. I do what I do because it's my way of blowing off steam. I don't want to be in your body, but I wasn't given a choice. Do you think hurting those people will make you feel better? It at least makes you forget for a short time before you take control. Every day I feel more caged because of my decision he made. Each day my anger for it builds up to the point where I can't control it. And you just make it worse for me. Always try to play the white knight like the good Samaritan you want to be. You don't understand what it's like to be me. At least you get to have the luxury of feeling alive. This made Terry think for a bit before the next thought was brought up. That still doesn't excuse the things you do. Fury just kept looking at him upset. I'm angry too, but taking it out on those people doesn't help. Then what do you propose I do? Throw roses at them? Be a little more tame than you are. You have the right to be pissed, and there are better ways of handling it. They both just ugly stare at each other. Then just this once, can we just kill them and get this over with so we can both live normal lives? I don't want to resort to killing. I think of a better idea. Fury looked at him with intrigue. Okay, Samaritan. If it's giving up, then I'll slap you again. We fake it. Fury's eyes widened at her statement. Are you crazy? I know it seems stupid, but all we have to do is fight them and act like we killed them. If we explain the situation to them, they'll understand. Then, Darky will let both of us go scot-free. Alright, genius. Amazing plan. Except you forgot one little detail. Darky isn't a dumbass. He wouldn't fall for something that stupid. Not only that, but say he does fall for it. He'll just find out we lied, and either A, revert the spell, or B, kill us. What in the love of all that is holy do you think this is a great plan? I'm well aware how smart Darky is. Fortunately, I think I know of a convincing way to trick him. We should be able to get him easily. All you have to do, for once in your life, is trust me. Fury still thought it was a dumb plan, but he had something linger in his mind with a good smile. Whatever. You better know what you're doing. It's gonna be fine. Now let's get back on the hunt. Terry put the mirror back in his pocket as Fury gave a sadistic grin as his reflection vanished. The group was already full asleep. They managed to find ghostly spots to help them rest, except for Mikey. He just lay there looking at the scabbard he'd put right beside him. Just what are you? He spoke quietly so that no one else woke up. When I pulled you out, I felt that you were its own beast. It's almost like you told me I'm not worthy earlier. He then shook his head after they stopped staring at it. Oh, what am I talking about? I'm talking to an inanimate sword. I really need to rest. He took one last look at the sword and then closed his eyes. After a good bit, he started to hear noises that he swore wasn't there before. He then wakes up to find he is no longer in the cave. In fact, he felt like he was farther away from where he was originally. He looked around to see he was in a brick-layer cell that had bars and one window at the top of the room. One more look led him to see a woman chained up on the wall. She seemed beaten up and starving as her clothes were dirty and torn apart. She also had long brown hair with a dour look as her eyes were closed in concentration. She then opens them in defeat. Mikey looked in shock as he slowly approached the beaten woman. Ma'am, I don't mean to intrude, but... He stopped after he heard footsteps come closer. He looks over to see a mysterious figure standing in the door. Though he didn't know it, it was Darky, who was still at his hood up. Darky opens to approach the woman with conviction. You're a strong woman, Morgan Starticus. Starticus? Don't tell me. The woman looked up at Darky determinedly. My best soldiers couldn't crack you, so color me impressed. Yet he will break. I know one day you'll tell me his location.
If you're so desperate to find my son, then why don't you read my mind?
Mikey looked even more shocked after this statement. Darky gave a quick chuckle as he kneeled down to her level. I know very well that your ability forbids me to do so. Still, I have other ways to get what I want.
Do your worst. I'll never let you get him.
Darky then brought his staff close to her face, whispering a spell under his breath. Mikey then decided to take action. Leave her alone! He sprang over with a diving intent to stop him. However, he knows that he went through the wizard as he tried to stop him. Mikey tried over and over with different techniques, but each attempt ended the same way. Why isn't this working? They all then stopped as a voice appeared in the distance.
General Darky, the Mangonians are coming in with a counterattack.
Darky then stopped the spell casting as Mikey started to back away in fear. He then studied his foe as Darky stands up immediately. What unfortunate timing. These metal bastards are such a pain in the neck. He then turns around and looked down at his prey. We'll continue this later. You will tell me his location. He then walked out a little annoyed. As he did, Mikey tried to keep his breath in check. I can't believe that was him. He tries to follow, but a barrier blocked him from following. He feels it out as more questions continue to fill his mind. He took a deep breath as he knew he wasn't going anywhere. Turning to see the broken woman, he goes over for some hope. Please tell me what's going on. Morgan's face lit up a bit after hearing that sound.
Who's there?
Mikey also lit up. Wait, you can hear me?
Yes, if that's you talking.
He then took a good sigh of relief. Thank goodness you can hear me. My name is Mikey Starticus. Her face then gave a warm smile with glee as her eyes widened.
Oh my god, it worked this time.
What work?
Michael, my ability allows me to use telepathy on others. I've been trying to contact you for so long.
Why?
Oh, Michael, didn't you hear me talking to him? I'm your mother.
With a surprised look, Mikey's expression investigated her with some closure.
Thank goodness you're still alive. I was beginning to fear that you died.
Mom? Tears filled both of their eyes as Mikey tried to go in for a hug, but he just phased right through her.
You were trying to hug me just now, right? I wish I could give you one as well. Unfortunately, my ability can't just bring you here. Only your conscience.
More tears fell from his eyes.
I know how you feel. You won't believe how much I missed you. I remember the day I saw you come into this world with my own eyes. If only I could see you now.
But I can see you.
Unfortunately, I can't. But talking with you is more than I could ever ask for.
Mikey didn't try to sit beside her. He looked at her with a warm look. What did they do to you? I thought you died with Dad. She shook her head with the same smile.
Darky managed to kill most of our best soldiers during the raid. I tried to save some of them, but I was too late. He then found me after he heard about the prophecy for you coming to save our kingdom. So instead of killing me,
He locked you down here so he can try and get the information from you.
you may not know this, but within this cell I kept a close eye on you because I was worried you didn't make it after I saw your dad die. While I wouldn't be able to see you, I can at least know that you were still living. Darky knew this, and he tried to read my mind, but I made sure he had no chance to break me. I held on for 12 years through each and every interrogation, and not once did I give him a clue.
Mikey held on to his gas. Are you okay? I'm sorry I had to suffer so much because of me. She looked at him fiercely.
You don't need to apologize for anything. You're my son. I'd rather die here than give out one blimp of information to them. You don't need to worry about me. I will continue to hold strong no matter what they'll do.
I don't want you to die. I already lost Dad. I don't want to lose you too. Tears seemed to flood his eyes with Morgan looking at him confidently.
I waited 12 years for you to come back. I can wait another 12 if I have to. And while this is happening, I can help you in any way I can.
I don't want to treat you more than I already am. With a calm shake, she gave him the back that warm smile.
It's nothing I can handle. I handled your father for 5 years.
They both laughed at that statement. Mikey didn't try to simply lay on her lap. I feel so lost right now. I just started my journey, and I'm now realizing I have no idea what to do with my role and my powers. She nodded in understanding.
I understand this must be all confusing to you. I would have been surprised if it wasn't. Feel free to ask me anything.
He didn't thought for a moment as he got up. If it isn't too much to ask, can you help me understand my powers and role?
Of course. I've seen Obadiah do it. I can at least teach you what he did.
Like with the Starblade? Her eyes widened once more.
You already got the sword?
Just recently. Why? She didn't smile with more glee.
My goodness, you're already well on your way.
Not really. Lane said it was too late for me, and I needed to complete this trial of the king before I faced Darky. She didn't laugh at this statement.
Don't be discouraged by his words. I'll help in any way I can. I still wish I could see your progress, but I don't think there's any way for me to do that.
Megan didn't thought for a moment, and he didn't thought of something. Do you think Francesco can build us something so we can do that? She looked at him in shock.
Francisco is still alive?
Yeah, Leiden told me that he lives in Scottsdale on Earth. We're going to meet him next, so do you think he can do that? She thought for a moment, and then smiled with pleasure.
Making something like that won't be easy. But if anyone can do that, it's him. Go on and try. I'll wait patiently for your return with it.
He nodded confidently. You got it. It'll be sooner than you think.
I hope. Yet for now, we have to say goodbye. When you're ready, fall asleep thinking about me. That'll give me a good enough sign to reach out to you.
No problem, Mother. You can count on me. I promise that when I'm ready to fight him, I will save you. She just calmly smiled at him. A light door appeared on Mikey's right, and he slowly walked over to it while still looking at Morgan.
Always remember, Michael, I love you very much, and I'll be happy to do anything for you.
Looked back once more with his last tears falling. I love you too, Mom. Stay strong like always. He took one more second to look at her, and he didn't cross the light door as it closed behind him. Their communication has ended, and she didn't want to rest. As she did, the footsteps of Darky came closer. Got to take care of that. Are you ready for a little meeting, Miss Stordicus? She looked at him fiercely.
I'd like to see you try.
Morning appeared as Mikey got up slowly. He looked down to see the wet spots of tears on the ground. He also noticed Cody was still asleep, and David and Sora were waiting outside as they watched the sunrise. With morning comes a new day.
Like being obvious, don't we?
Both laughed as the sun continued to rise.
Did you ever watch the sunrise with your gang?
Every morning. It's kind of like our good luck charm of sorts. It's pretty much saying that we're up and ready to tackle any obstacle in our way.
Sometimes I wish I had that kind of luck.
He smiled at her as he shook his head. It's just superstition at the end of the day. Even then, that is the part at least I don't miss about Starvania.
The sun?
It's further away from it than Earth. It doesn't even shine as bright. In fact, you almost mistake it for it being night all the time for how little that sun brings.
Geez, it must be the furthest planet away in that case.
But that's just a small nitpick. It's not like it completely affects my day.
There are some days I wish that optimism fell on me.
She then looked down as she took a deep breath.
Mind if I tell you something?
You don't have to ask.
When we go see Francesco, can I sit out while you do so?
How come?
For personal reasons, that's all.
David thought for a moment before he spoke back to her, but ultimately decided against it. It's your choice. Though for face value, is it because of bad memories? She looked at the sun in sorrow.
You can say it's kind of like the way you feel with Peterson. Only difference is that it's not directly towards Francesco.
I see. I'll leave it at that then.
But don't get me wrong, I'm still willing to help out.
Of course, of course. Just remember that all this is your choice. You can help out as much as you like, but if you have limits, I'm not going to force you to push it.
Right, thanks for understanding.
Hey, I've been there. Don't ever get on twice your age.
Yeah, sometimes you don't act like it.
She gave a quick giggle as David did as well. Heh, okay, let's lay off the David hate for a little bit. I didn't notice Mikey come up to them after he fully got up. Morning, buddy. I was asleep. He remembered the conversation he had last night, and he looked at them motivated. Let's just say that I'm ready to go find Francisco. They didn't see Cody walk up behind him, half asleep. Get to hear. I'd rather prepare myself if my tired face isn't enough evidence. They all laughed once more as Cody tried to yawn away the rest of the sleep. They spent the next few minutes eating breakfast, packing up, and getting ready for the next quest. Alright, Scottsdale is quite a ways south. We should be able to get there in 2.5 days if we're fast enough. So let's hope we are. They didn't begin to march, but they were stopped as they heard a familiar voice come from above. I wouldn't be going to Scottsdale anytime soon if I were you. All four of them looked up to see an individual who was all too familiar. It was Terry, who was standing on the rock above them. Terry? Finally found you. Took a few minutes there. Should have known you went to an obvious cave. What do you want from us? We heard you made a deal with someone. Oh, don't worry about it. Your question will be answered shortly. But first, you and I have some catching up to do. He looked at them fiercely as the shadow of fury spun behind them menacingly. From distance was lightened, seeing them from atop a canyon. He finally found them. About time. Let the second trial, a battle against fury, begin. May the stars shine on you brightly as you try your best to beat him. The four of them looked Charleston as the lone warrior as he watched down from above with the same fierce look.